All right, we are recording. Yeah, sorry if you hear my chair squeak. That's my fault. Don't worry about it. It won't go the whole thing. Now, usually, okay, out of normal circumstances, my co-host, my brother would be here, but he didn't have time this week. So apparently, it's my time. It's my time. I, you know, I don't know. Is he busy? Who knows? He just couldn't come. But I'm going to put this out weekly. So I said, you know what? Let me do it by myself. Like how I started. It started out with me doing it by myself. And then I was like, hey, we have good conversations. Just do it together. And it's been working out good. But he couldn't do it today. He couldn't do it this week. And I said, you know what? We're going to be late. It's going to be too many days to get him back. Too many days to get him back. Let's just do it like we used to do it, by ourselves. You know what I mean? Which, doing something by yourself, sometimes, it's encouraging. It's encouraging, and it helps you really know what you're about, okay? If you're always relying on someone else, it can be difficult. It can be very difficult to get things done sometimes, like this. I'm not saying close off your surroundings and fucking like go into the middle of the woods and don't talk to anybody. Even though I kind of do want to do that one day. Yeah, I kind of do. I kind of do. I haven't gotten I haven't gotten to that place yet in my life to fully commit to just saying fuck society and leave. But man, I could see myself going that route. I definitely could. I already want to live in a van. I'll live in a camper. I see all these van life, camp life things. God, I want to. I just need that's what they don't tell you is that it takes money to get the van. Everyone's like, oh, camp life, they're making coffee in the fucking woods. Okay? I would love to wake up in the morning to some bright sun, making coffee in the goddamn woods. I mean, I would love that. Be one with nature. Oh, my God. But it takes money to get the van. That's what they don't tell you. That's what those van lifers don't tell you. Those hippie-ass van lifers who don't take showers. Okay? It takes money to get the van. And when you get the van, you got to figure out the showers. You got to figure out the showers. You got to figure out how to clean your body. I can cook. Cooking and being on my own in the woods is the least of my problems. Okay? Being on my own, just driving through the U.S. and doing whatever I want, whenever I want, I love that. It's the showers. It's how you gonna cook. Are there, are there, do I need to bring one of those things? My dad had a portable thing you put, a portable stove with the canister. God, I'm forgetting the name of what those canisters. What is it, gas? But there's a certain word for it, but it was a gas-powered stove to cook, portable. I almost took it one day. I was so frustrated in high school. I almost took it one day and went and left and never came back. I had my car and everything. I was like, I'm going to leave forever. But I didn't. I went back, and I kept going to college. But yeah, I'm down to do that. You just got to get the van, the money. That's what they don't tell you. All these van lifers, they look so comfortable drinking coffee. They don't ever tell you what their job is. They don't ever tell you what their job is. They don't ever tell you, hey, this may not be the life for you if you don't know how to make money. How to be, even though I hate this word, it's a millennial made up BS word. Okay, it's a millennial BS word, but it's called what's it called? A millennial? No, I mean, internet nomad? What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Not internet nomad. I just heard someone say it the other day, and it was like for the oh man, what was it? Internet nomad, a refugee, internet refugee, or something like that. Internet nomad is so close to it. It's like a synonym for it, but I forget exactly what it is. forget. It's basically when you make money online, but you travel all over the place. You know? Would a YouTuber be that? No, YouTubers would be YouTubers, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Everyone is everything nowadays anyway, so you can be whatever you want. But yeah, I'm ready to go van life camping. How did I even get on this? Oh, doing things yourself, being independent. Yeah, my fucking brother's not here, my co-host. So, that's alright. He can't grow a beard anyway. Not that that's a slight on a man, but, you know, it's a fact of life. He looks like the black Hitman. No, he does. He doesn't look like. He doesn't look like the black Hitman, but he's not bald. He's not bald, but he's getting there. He does have alopecia though. I think that might be getting better though. Who knows? Yeah, who knows? Speaking of Hitman, actually, Hitman 3 came out. Oh, what is the controversy of Hitman? Controversy of Hitman 3. What was it? Oh, the way they put out the game so confusing. There's people who bought Hitman 3 bought it, but there's like 3 different versions of fucking Hitman 3. There's like the special, the game of the year gold, the game of the year. I was like, what the hell? And then there's this other special sale where, there's a sale where if you buy Hitman 2, you get Hitman 3, I think. I was like, wait, Hitman 2? But then Hitman 2 was on sale. So it was like this weird thing where you could get Hitman 3 for like 50% off day one on what's it called? Games. You know, Epic Games. It's an Epic exclusive right now. I went crazy looking for this game too. I was like, why isn't it on Steam? What the fuck's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Epic exclusive. What the fuck? I thought, that's one of those games. I was like, Epic exclusive. Is Epic Games not for kids? Do they not? Oh, their exclusives aren't kid-only games? I was like, what the fuck? Hitman 3 is an Epic exclusive? And then I see on 4chan, don't go on 4chan, but I see on 4chan, is Epic Games better than Steam now? No. The hell? Sorry, my phone, but no. What the hell? People are actually arguing that. People are actually thinking to themselves, they're sitting down, you're thinking to themselves, is Epic better than Steam? No. What the fuck are you on? That you think Epic has now gone over Steam? Like, no. No. And to be fair, maybe Hitman 3 is not that good of a game. I've seen reviews. People don't think every mission is that great. Maybe that's why it's an exclusive. Maybe that's why you could get it 75% off day one. Hitman 2, I haven't played Hitman 3, but Hitman 2 was pretty good. I don't know how is it the same system? Like, how are they going to do it? What irked me, and also what irked my brother, the co-host that's not here, Hitman 2 had no CGI. Sorry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Hitman 3 is just a confusing game. They had a bad release the way you buy it. There's too many special editions. That's the main point of that. Too many special editions. It was fucking confusing. Hitman 2 had what am I thinking of? Hitman 2 had, what was I going to say? Oh, no CGI cutscenes. They had, you remember the old Fast and Furious games where the cutscenes would just be moving comic book like pictures and you didn't really have movement, full CGI movement to the later Fast and Furious games, Need for Speed games. Like, you didn't have them later. And then there was this one, God, what was it? Payback, where they had real people. I think Undercover, sorry, my phone again. I'm going to turn this down, I'm sorry. I think Undercover had real people, if I'm correct. I forget, but you get it. Like, moving comic book style pictures. That's the way fucking Hitman 3 was until you got the DLC. And then, I mean, the way Hitman 2 was until you got the DLC. The Hitman 2 DLC had full movement CGI cutscenes. I'm like, what the hell is this? Really? It really made me frustrated. That's a full price game. And I hate the way they do these. Why buy individual mission? Just give me the fucking game. I don't know what that individual mission thing is. Don't do that. Really don't do that. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. No, I did not. What am I trying to say? No, I think that was it. Yeah, I just didn't. Those are my two things: the missions, and yeah. But I think you can keep your missions if you buy Hitman 3. That's one thing that's cool. But my Hitman missions are on Steam. How do you know it's all on Steam? How do you know? Does it go over to Epic? Do I have to log into something? Who makes it? I don't even know anymore. All these questions. The best one was Blood Money. I don't even know why they're trying to make other shit. The best one was Blood Money. They should have made Blood Money 2, 3, 4, 5. The best Hitman was Blood Money. What do you want me to say? It's just what it is. I don't know what to say about that, but it's just what it is. The best Hitman's Blood Money. I don't know. Yeah. And also, I also heard, maybe this isn't true, but I heard that there is no ray tracing. What's up with that? In Hitman 3, no ray tracing. It's 2021. If I don't have ray tracing, I don't have a game. No, I'm joking. Of course I'll play a game without ray tracing, but, you know, it's a simple game. I mean, I don't want to downplay how they made it, you know, if it's good or not, but I haven't played it, but you know, I don't want to say it's not. It's an easy game, like it's easy to make a game. It's very difficult to make games. I don't want to say that, but as a lukewarm reception, let's keep it at that. It's a lukewarm. Yeah, Hitman 2. I did see the mission where you kind of, you know, we're done with Hitman. Let's move on. No, I'm done with Hitman. I haven't played it yet, so everything I'm saying is libel. What's the word where everything you're saying you're speaking of things you don't know? There's a certain word for it. There's a certain word for it. I forgot. Okay, let's go to this next topic actually here. Sorry if you hear this clicking. There is a different thing I wanted to talk. What did I want to talk? Here we go. Cyberpunk. Let's keep it on video games for a second. Cyberpunk. So, Cyberpunk came out. Everyone knows it had a terrible launch. They might even get sued, or they're in the process of getting sued. Crazy. Every time Cyberpunk comes up and how bad it is in the beginning, that launch, I think about the guy who was dying of cancer, and that's not funny. That part's not funny. The next part, I'm sorry. I laughed not because of that, but I laughed because I knew what I was about to say, not because I should have laughed at the end. I'm sorry, but the dude had cancer. And he was waiting to play this game. He plays it. And it's like buggy and shit. I always think about that story and think, how the hell does this guy feel waiting for this game? Dying of cancer is like one of his last wishes. And it's buggy and not what they advertised at all. The literal trailer, things in the trailer are literally not even in the game. How does he feel? God damn. How does he feel? That was a real story, by the way. That was a real thing. How does he feel? I don't know. Honestly, I wanted Cyberpunk to be like I was playing Ghost in the Shell. Maybe that's too high of expectations, but that's what the fuck I wanted. I wanted to play Ghost in the Shell. And now, when that game came out, I was like, okay, that wasn't good. Now I want a linear story style Ghost in the Shell game, like the Star Wars what's it called, Fallen Order, with the guy from Shameless, because Shameless is now Star Wars canon. Also, playing that game, Star Wars Fallen Order, by the way, is a Star Wars game that's very linear. For those of you who don't know, it's a very linear game. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. And the guy who you play as is the guy from Shameless. His name's Cal, you know, in the Star Wars game, but he's that guy. He's the redhead from Shameless, who's gay. Yeah. And the whole time I was like thinking, is he gay in this game too? That'd be funny. If him being gay was just in everything he was in, he was just gay. Even though I think he's straight in real life. I think the other guy is gay in real life. The guy from Shameless I'm talking about. But whatever. I want that style game. But a Ghost in the Shell. I don't need an open world. You know, open world's fun. But I don't need it. I don't need a big open world game. I don't need that. If you can make a good linear Ghost in the Shell game, oh, yes. Those two Ghost in the Shell movies are my favorites. I fucking love those movies. Okay? Both of them. I know the second one gets some flack, but it's so good. God, I love those. I'm talking about the old animated ones. Okay. Not the... Here, you know what? Let me just bring it up. What's this called? What's the old anime Ghost in the Shell called? Because there's the second one is really good. But what is the second one called? I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. What is the second one called? God, I always forget. Hold on. Innocence. Yes, that's what it's called. Innocence. It's so good. God, it's so good. Yep. Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. If you combine Ghost in the Shell 1 and 2 and made a game, oh my God. It'd be so good. Make a linear Ghost in the Shell. I don't need an open world game. I don't need it. Make a really good Ghost in the Shell game. Because that's what I wanted from Cyberpunk. Oh my God, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. That's what they're striving for anyway. That world, that style. That's what Cyberpunk was going for anyway. Just make it good. God, that would be awesome. A Ghost in the Shell game. Oh. What's up with the film grain? Old school? Oh man, that'd be cool. God damn. You play as her, you're solving mysteries. Oh. Or you play as the guy. I don't care. Yes, do it. Do it. Why not? These people, they're just getting... I just heard the other day, they're finally getting to into making Skate 4. It's like, oh my God, the announcement was months and months ago that they're going to. We've been wanting it for 10 years. These people take so fucking long to make good shit we want. Like, literally, we could have been on Skate 10. We could have been on Skate 10. We all wanted Skate, and yet they didn't do it. It's so weird. It's so weird what these companies do, and what it's so weird. It's so strange. When you want something, when you want a game or you want a sequel to a game, they take long as fuck to do it for some reason. But then the things you don't want are ample. Okay? The things you don't want are everywhere. The bad games you don't want are everywhere from the same makers. I can only think of really Rockstar who continuously gives us what we want. Even though they've done some bullshit too. Like, I don't know why they won't fix GTA Online. I don't know what the fuck that is. The hacking. Why do they allow hacking? What's wrong with them? They so openly allow it. There's a backdoor deal going on with Rockstar and hacking. I swear to God. They allow it too much. It's crazy. It makes no sense. Oh my God. What was I talking about? Oh, Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk had a terrible launch. Was I let down? I don't know, honestly. I was waiting for this game for so long that my hopes went super high a couple years ago. 2 years ago when there was like this other announcement. But then it just went down. I kind of forgot. I was kind of, I wanted it. I was hyped. I was definitely hyped, but I wasn't hyped, I think, like people were. I wasn't hyped enough to get disappointed, if that makes any sense. I wasn't hyped enough to get disappointed because people were very disappointed. When I played the game, it didn't bug out for me except in the beginning. Except in the beginning where I couldn't hear. It's hard to describe, but when I was in the car and I shot, I couldn't hear anything outside the car. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was shooting, like all those cutscenes of shooting at the back of the van, I couldn't hear them shooting back at me. And there are some scenes where I literally, like, couldn't hear the shooting. Like, like when you play the game, you get into the situation where you sneak inside someone's house, right? And then you're caught inside and you're watching a scene go down. In the scene, an old man, they're like these two Asian old men talking in the future, right? I know if you don't play the game, you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but if you do, you know. There's this guy named Adam Smasher, and he says something at the door. He says something, and I couldn't hear it. And then I realized I couldn't hear them talking at all. There's just the subtitles. I'm like, damn. So in the cutscenes, I literally couldn't hear for some reason. It was odd because I couldn't hear anything, but I could hear Jackie. So I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, there'd be nothing, and then Jackie would be like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, and it would like scare me because I would have headphones on, and it scared me. Like, why do I hear just Jackie and no one else? Like, it'd be the long ass silence, and then Jackie would talk. I'd be like, oh yeah, I guess I could just hear you. Yeah, Jackie should have stayed longer. Like, honestly, his death didn't mean enough because it wasn't long at all. I wish I could play the cut scene where you hang out with Jackie. What was that all about? Why'd they show that but not actually do anything about it? I don't know. That's not cool. I mean, hey, it's their game, though. They can do whatever they want. Let's see. Excuse me, I'm stretching. Let's see. I don't know what else to say about Cyberpunk. It's just all right. I think even after all the updates, it's just all right. Let's hurry up and make Cyberpunk 2. You know, give us what you actually wanted to make. Maybe they didn't want to make it. Maybe it was all just a scam. You ever think about that? All these people say, well, we didn't get what they really wanted to. Well, how do you know? Well, this is exactly what they wanted to make, and it's just bad. You know, like, it's just bad. Here's my question, right? In the trailers for Cyberpunk, right? Trailers for Cyberpunk had literally a different look. You could look it up, the comparison videos. Literally, they're just things that aren't in the game. Where are those? Are they like on a hard drive somewhere? Like, I don't get the decisions when when this happens to games, like when something's in the trailer and it's just completely absent from the game. Are those textures, are those things in a hard drive somewhere? Is there another Cyberpunk game developers have that they just couldn't? And why? And if they have it and they made it and they made a trailer, why didn't they give it to us? That's what I don't understand. Why? Like, so we could see signs, we could see all this different stuff in the trailer. So did they never make that, or they made it and they couldn't give it to us? But why couldn't they give it to us? That's what I don't understand. Like, yeah, it was in the trailer, but like, what happened? Why isn't it given to us? You know, there are things like missions and stuff like that you can't change. The archetype, I don't even know if that's the right word, but the whole game, the game itself, you can't change. The way you make missions and stuff like that, the way you go about the game, the way you handle it, you can't change. But visually, there's literally a bunch of stuff that's not there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? On a hard drive? What happened to it? That's what I want to know. All these people, they're like, oh, you didn't give us this. But I want to know why. So they made it, didn't give it to us because they saw they couldn't handle it? Or, I don't know. Why didn't they just make this a PC exclusive? That would have helped a lot. If they didn't give it to consoles, the whole PS4 thing where it literally just doesn't work, why didn't they make this a PC exclusive? Why not? I don't know. Who knows? It could have been better. Could have been better. What else is going on in the world? No more Cyberpunk. No more Cyberpunk. You know what I didn't do? Get into the stock market this week. You know why? Because I don't know the stock market. The whole thing with GameStop and the stock market and the rich getting richer, and when they see us getting richer, they just shut it the fuck down. Like they always do. No matter what situation, when regular common people get a leg up, you don't even have to be really poor. You don't even have to be black or minority, whatever. They just don't want anyone getting as rich as them. So when we do, or when we even have a chance to, they shut it the fuck down. I knew that from the get-go, though. From life, I was born in this shit, baby. Okay, I was born in this shit. No, not really. I grew up in Redondo Beach, but still, okay? Visually, I know what it's like to be poor. I grew up in Redondo Beach, but guess what? I grew up in an apartment in Redondo Beach, all right? All right, so if you're saying, oh, you're a rich kid, I'm not a rich kid. I'm very far from a rich kid. All right, what was I talking about with the whole video game thing? I don't know where I was going with that, but whatever it is, I just hope they start making better games. I mean, I haven't truly enjoyed... I mean, that's not true. I enjoyed Star Wars, but other than that, I don't know. I haven't been amazed by a game since, like, Battlefield. And that might even been just because I was young. I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure with that one. Who knows? It'll get better, though. Games will get better. There's always a lull. You know, in video games, there's always a lull. There's, like, a long time where nothing good comes out. And then, like, a bunch of good shit comes out all at once. Eventually, you know. Until another lull comes. And then, like, you're just waiting for a game. Like, waiting for years. Hey, it happens, though. You know. Like, the early 2010s, so many good games came out. And then it was, like, a long time. And then games came out. You know, like GTA. Things like that. You just wait a long time. It'll happen eventually. You know, I mean, I hope, but who knows? You know, I'm still upset that my co-host isn't here. He's gone, Diego. No, I mean, not gone forever, but not on this one. He's got things to do. He's busy. He's busy. He's busy trying to be a part of the Coast Guard. He's trying to do that. You know, I don't know if he's gonna make. I mean, he might. I mean, who knows if he's gonna make it or not? I can't predict the future. He might. I don't know. Are we all going to make it? We could all make it and all be fine. And then again, it wouldn't. Who knows? Like the whole Capitol riot thing. We might be. Well, I mean, we'll probably be okay, but who knows? I may not. The San Andreas, there was a San Andreas like vault thing that happened the other week that hadn't happened for like 100 years. There was like a little earthquake in San Francisco. So that wasn't good. You know, you don't want that to happen. To the whole fucking California split open. Because that would affect the whole world, you know. It's a big place, big economy. Affect the whole world. Because you never know how big is that earthquake really going to be. And what if it like triggers a bunch of volcanoes? You know, we think about that earthquake like it was San Andreas Vault. But what if like that triggers like a different vault we didn't know of. And like goes all the way through the whole entire U.S. and like it turns into 2012. It could, but it probably won't. But it could. It's possible. It's possible. Anything's possible. Especially that. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah. Okay. The new whole all these Marvel TV shows that are coming out. The WandaVision one. I haven't watched it. I don't watch TV shows once a week anymore. You know, I just wait until they all come out. I'm not waiting. I don't do that. So I'll wait until it's all out and then I'll watch it. But from the screenshots I've seen, I don't know. It looks okay. You know, she's an attractive woman. Sure. You know, the other guy, he's British. I don't really deal with people across the pond, but that's just me. You know, I guess apparently a lot of people like him, so sure. You know, Vision. Is he my favorite superhero? No, far from it. I feel like he's kind of a copy of Dr. Fate, but that just could be me dick riding DC. Even because I like them better and I know them more, but yeah, I don't know. He's cool. He's got the thing in his head. The whole show just seems kind of like, where's it going? Is my question. Is it actually going to fit into the movies? Like, do I need to watch it to know the movies well? Or can I just skip it? Can I skip all these TV shows? It's too much, really. Can I just skip them all? Like, will it actually matter if I don't watch WandaVision? I hope not. It's too many hours. I have other things to do. I'll let that car go by. Sorry about that car, but yeah, I have other things to do. It's too much. Every episode's like an hour or what, 30 minutes? It's still too much. Well, I guess that actually might be the point of it being weekly, is to watch it so it's not too. But then again, I forget things. Like this show, like when's the next movie coming out that actually matters? Like where is her movie coming out that it connects? Like if it's so far down the line, it's like, damn, I don't even remember. But maybe they're banking on people rewatching. Like that's also kind of a shitty thing. I don't know. Disney's like a huge company. They just love money. They really do. That dude's head is frozen somewhere. Walt Disney. He's racist, but he's a millionaire, so they'll do it. They'll freeze his head for him. That was a whole thing in what's that TV show? The delivery TV show with Fry. It's pretty funny. That was a pretty fun show. But back to the whole Marvel thing. There are too many TV shows. The Loki one, everyone was like super excited for the Loki one. It just seemed, I don't know, kind of like boring to me. Like, what is Loki gonna do? Like, I don't want to see, if I'm watching Loki, I want to see like cool shit happen, like a superhero movie actually happen on TV. But I doubt they're gonna have the budget for that for every TV show. Will they? Like the Captain America one, where Bucky and the other dude Falcon, and I saw people online being like, "Oh, they're making him Falcon, Captain America because he's black," and it's like he does that in the comic books way before any of this political shit even started. Like that happened in the comic books a long time ago. And also Bucky turns into the White Wolf. So they both turn into Captain America, but Bucky eventually goes and he becomes a White Wolf and then goes with Black Widow and like does like Black Widow shit in like Russia and spy shit. So I don't, these people are like, oh, they don't read the comic books. A lot of these people are just mad and they don't even read the comic books. They're like, oh, for political reasons, they're like, oh, he wants to be black. And it's like, no, that already happens in the comic books. Yeah. And what did the whole thing with the whole, like, there was this green guy, like Samuel L. Jackson was actually a green guy. What happened to that? What's going to happen? None of this makes any sense. I mean, it makes sense, but it's just taking so long to actually, that stuff to, like, pay off. Eventually it will. It just takes so long. Like, I hate waiting. And the show, will it be good? Who knows? I hope it doesn't get too political. The Captain America show. It easily could. I could easily see going down that route of it being super political, which I don't want. We already have enough politics. It's fine. That's the one thing, though, in America we don't do, is when we watch the news, they don't do any foreign news. There's no foreign news. Like, if you look at the BBC, they do foreign news plus what's going on in Europe. Like, here, you'll never see anyone talk about what's going on anywhere. Like, in Canada, Mexico sometimes, but that's only because we're slightly racist and we're, like, constantly worried about Mexicans for some reason. Like, what's going on down there. So we'll see a couple things about Mexico. Canada, never. And there's like never any other news except American news. But you go across the pond, they're like doing news from like South Africa and shit. They do all types of news, That's something you'll never see in America, is like anyone caring about anything else going on, which sucks. Because it's interesting too, though, the foreign news. You get to know a lot more shit. I definitely think it would help out schools. Like, if I watched foreign news in school, that definitely would have helped me out. Because history and shit, I just didn't care. Like, it would definitely help out with history, a language. If they actually forced you to learn a language, that could have helped. I don't know what could have helped. Maybe nothing could have helped, and I still would have been like an F student. Maybe, yeah. What if they did? What if everything changed, and they did do everything, and I still ended up in special ed classes, and then it would just be me. Like, you can't blame the school if you're just dumb, but we'll never know because the school's terrible. So we'll never know if it's whose fault it is. Whose fault is it? I don't know. It could be the school. Who knows? How did we get on this topic? We're talking about Marvel. Then we're talking about foreign shit. Yeah. Oh, here's what I was going with that. Do people? Is it an American thing to like Marvel, or no? That's an around the world thing. Everyone likes Marvel. I don't know. I need to try. I need to be more well traveled. That's what I'm trying to do. Be more well traveled. Trying to. No, let's get back to why Diego isn't here, my co-host. We got to keep going back to this because it's like you get he can't just I don't know. He doesn't care. He doesn't take the podcast seriously. I mean, he does, but not really. He needs to take it more seriously. We all need to take things more seriously. I mean, some things, not everything. Some things you shouldn't care about. That's actually a big problem nowadays. People caring about things they shouldn't. People caring about what other people are doing in their own private lives and homes, like way too much. So, yeah. But I'm talking about the podcast, so you should care about the podcast. I don't know. I don't even know how long this podcast is going to last. Much longer. That's the problem. It's hard to get an audience. It really is. It's very hard to grow, not only on YouTube, but like doing anything creative. It's hard to grow. It's hard. Like reaching out, I've always been bad at reaching out, like with music, with YouTube. I've always been hard, like promoting myself. It's so cringy. It's terrible. I hate promoting myself and doing shit like that. It's not cool. It's not cool. I mean, it's cool when you get the audience, but actually doing it and starting out, it's bad. Like a beginning creator, there's nothing more. Maybe for other people, they don't care, but for me, it's always been so hard to promote myself and to like, hey guys, listen to my music, listen to this. I think it might also be a little bit afraid of criticism, sure. But it's always been so hard for me to be like, hey, listen to this podcast, listen to my music, hey, blah, 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 blah. It's hard. Unless it's not. Like, some people love just fucking shitting out everything they do, even if it's bad. See, that's the thing. I see people give, like, hey, like in school, I'm majoring in music right now, right? Digital music. In every class, there'll be like people like, oh, listen to my music, and advertising the shit out of themselves. And you listen to it, and it's like, it's not even a full song, it's like a beat. And they're like, yeah, if you're looking for someone to rap over, I'm like, what is this, dude? So you're just trying to advertise a beat, like, I get it, we're all producers in the class, and like, we want people to listen, but I've never been good at promoting myself. And these people just do it at the wazoo. Like, they just, like, every day, they're just like, look at this beat I made, look at this beat I made. Like, I don't know. And the whole thing about making beats versus making songs, I didn't even realize until I actually started learning about music. Like, how, if you make a beat, right, that's cool, you make a beat. But then when you, versus making a song, which you put out, like a lot of these people are making beats, but they're not putting them out. They're kind of putting them out for people to rap over. And I am putting out like these full songs, and I'm just in every class I'm thinking, okay, for instance, this one kid was like, I made 5 songs last weekend, right? I go, damn, that's a lot. 5 songs is a lot. And I go, 5 songs like ready to put out? He goes, yeah. I go, so when are you going to put them out? He goes, well, I'm waiting for this guy to get on this guy and this guy. And I sent this one to this one. I'm like, oh, so beats. So really you made beats. Like, but he said full songs. Like, a full song is something you're ready to put out whenever. Like, when you say, oh, I made a song, at least in my head, I'm thinking you're ready to put it out. You're ready. Oh, this is a song. You're ready to put it out. But no, he was like, yeah, I made beats and I'm looking for people to get on them. It's like, okay, so you're done making a bunch of beats, but you're not. So you've put out nothing. Like, what have you actually put out? Nothing. He's put out nothing. But he just made a bunch of beats and sent them to people, which in the long run might. Who knows? I don't know. Like, what's more, what's worth more? Putting work into yourself as a musician and putting out music and putting out songs for yourself and just working on yourself as an artist, or making beats and giving them to people and kind of getting your foot in the door that way, I'm not sure. For me, excuse me, wow. For me, it's like, I don't want to rely on people on my beats. I don't want to rely on selling my beats. I kind of just want to have that fan base, and I think the only way to do that is really to get signed and kind of get advertisement out there. It depends on what your goal is, I guess, because everyone has a different goal. But then I look at people like producers, like let's say, I don't know, pick any EDM producer or whatever you want to call it, dance music, whatever you want to call it, pick any of them, and they put out songs. Like, you don't see people rapping over a lot of their beats, and that's what I wanted to do. Like, I guess you could do both. People like Dylan Francis has had a lot of people on his beats, but even him, he's done a lot of stuff just like without people. Like, I don't know, constantly selling your beats and not just putting them out. I don't know what if that works for you, I guess, but that's not what I want to do. And also, there's a certain freedom to just being the sole artist and doing your music yourself versus being someone who's relying on buying your beats. Like, if that's where your money comes from, if your money comes from a fan base, your fan base, and you just make music when you want, I like that much more than, okay, I'm waiting for someone to get on this. I'm waiting for someone to buy this beat. I'm waiting for someone to do this. I feel like that model only works when you're popping. But if you're not popping and you're not putting out music and you're constantly waiting for people to get on your beats, it's like, well, what do you do? Like, you're not getting any money. It's like, I'd rather build a fan base and just make music for myself and do shows like that rather than wait for people to come on to my beat and kind of hope, like, oh, I hope I get on this, I hope I get on that, I hope I do this, I hope I hope I get on the album. It's like, just make your own album, like make your own EP. That's the way I come at it. I don't know, I guess people don't want to be the face. Do people not want to be the face? Is that the problem? Do people want to be behind the scenes? I don't know. Producers, do we all want to be behind the scenes? I do, but if that means if being behind the scenes and not, if waiting for beats means that I can't live by making whatever the fastest way to actually making money, not a lot of money at all, just enough to live off of music, whatever the fastest way to that is, that's kind of what I want to do. But I'm seeing that the fastest way to do that is by doing the constant selling, the constant advertising, the constant putting yourself out there, like, hey, do this, hey, you rap, oh, do this, get on my beat, do that. Like, if that's the fastest way, then that may not be the way for me, if it is. And I think it might be, because streaming versus someone buying your beat for $100 is quick. Someone buying your beat for $100 will always be quicker than streaming. It just is. But then again, that comes with, okay, you sold that beat, and you may have a name in the producer side of things, but I kind of want a fan base. Like, what's better, I guess? I guess that's the whole thing. What's better, building a fan base or building connections in the music industry? Connections in the music industry is probably better for the long run. I'm not even sure. I think for the short run, because when you have a fan base, you can kind of keep feeding that fan base, especially if they like your music. You can maybe even do shows, versus being a producer and just saying, hey, I'm going to do a show. Not many people know you because you have that connection more with the other side, with the producing side. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, I know a lot of people know, but that's the thing. You could do both. But the people who do both are, like, to do both well, you kind of have to be popular. And that's what I'm saying. How do you get popular on which side? Which side first? What do you do first? I guess that's the whole problem. That's the whole beginning. especially if you're a songwriter. What if you just write? Like, what do? They constantly have to get on things. Like, if you're not making music and you're just writing, that's got to be so hard, so difficult, because it literally all depends on someone saying yes. Like producing, you could just put out stuff on YouTube, like a beat out, but writing, being a songwriter, so, and it's funny, you only hear from the popular songwriters. Like, you never hear people being like, yeah, like, you always hear these people on videos on YouTube be like, yeah, I wrote for Katy Perry, I wrote for this person. You're like, where are the other people? I guess you don't hear them because they're not famous. But where are they? Like, what are they doing? You gotta stop looking at like you gotta stop looking at like the 10 people on top of each of your artistry, whether you're a painter or whatever. You gotta stop looking at like the top 10 people, because that's hard to get to anyway. You gotta start looking at like people who are on your level and how they're doing it, which is disheartening sometimes, especially when they're like, yeah, it's very hard and I'm getting no placements on anything like playlists or anything. So that could be hard. I guess it's good to look up to the top, 20 people, I guess. The people making the most money with the biggest fan base. It's cool to look up to them, but it's not realistic, because most people won't ever get to that. You gotta realize there are millions of people making art and making music on Instagram, on this and that. I don't want to say won't ever, but most likely most people won't ever get on even the top 100 playlists. Most people just won't. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. You don't need to get on the top 100 to make a living and be comfortable for years. You don't even need to. So that is, there's two ways of looking at that. It's like, yeah, most people won't, but also most people will still make a living. Like, you still do it, but it's complicated. The whole thing's complicated. And I guess this is just from the point of view of someone from the beginning versus someone who's been doing it for years. I guess it could be, like I said, disheartening to hear someone's been doing it for years and is still at the same level you are, just because of luck, just because they haven't gotten on anything, just because they're just not lucky and no one's clicking. It's bad. It's real bad. But like I always say, as long as I get enough money to get, I don't know, my own apartment somewhere and just live enough off my music to live semi-comfortably, that'll be fine. Like, no one's trying to be a millionaire over here on this side of the track. We ain't trying to be millionaires on this side of the tracks. We're trying to live happy in a place we like. You know what I'm talking about? That's all. Because if you set your goals too high, it's cool to do that. But if you set your goals too high, you're gonna be disappointed eventually, or maybe not disappointed, but it's gonna take you a long time. And like, every setback is going to be like, if you aim to play EDC and that's like your end goal, every little setback is gonna seem extremely bad. But if your goal, let's say, is to do 10 shows this year, and you don't, let's say something happens and you don't get to do 2, but you did 8, that's not bad. But let's say if your goal is to play EDC, or Red Rocks or some huge venue, every little thing is a huge setback. It's huge. Like, not doing a show is like, oh, like, it's huge. When you set your sights that high, especially from the beginning, maybe it's just me, but you gotta do it step by step. I feel like the music industry, especially with SoundCloud and things like that, people popping super quick, it could get kind of like, you see all these people getting famous super quick, and like, this producer went from like 1,000 views to 1 million views because he did this one song that just got popular. It's hard to look at that, because you're like, well, I want to do that. Why isn't this happening to me? Why don't I have a song that's getting a bunch of views? Why hasn't my things picked up? And you got to realize, I think, for that, a lot of people haven't gotten picked up. Like that guy who gets those types of views is a 1 in a million. When you look up blah 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 remix, the most popular remix comes up. Scroll down and then look up anything. Look up Red Hot Chili Peppers remix. The highest the most popular one will be there. But look at the views. Really pay attention to the views. All you have to do is scroll down a couple videos to see that people are literally having making good remixes with just a couple thousand. And the ones at the top have millions. And those are like 5. So you got to really realize, instead of being like, why did this unknown producer get so popular super quick? But if you look him up, and let's say you look up him, you scroll down, look up producers like him, there are people who just as good, with just as good music, with no views at all, So good producers, good music with no views at all. So I think you got to keep that in mind. It's like, yeah, I may not be lucky, but I don't need to be lucky to make a living. Now, if your goal is to be a millionaire from this shit, that's a huge goal that it could be disheartening if you don't make it. But if your goal is simply to make a living, like if I made enough from like when I was at Target, if I made that on my music, oh my God, I'd be so happy. Like if I was making that money, $15 an hour, wait, was it like 13? It's actually like 13. I think it might have been 13. Wait, yeah, no, it was 13, and then eventually it was gonna get to 15, but I quit before it ever got to 15. So yeah, unfortunately, which really hurt me this year, because if I had gotten fired, I would have been able to get some help. But because I willingly quit, they're like, you don't get any money. So, which I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that. I would have gotten myself fired or something. I don't know. Who knows? And also, I realized that when you quit, people really don't. When you quit a job, that people don't like giving you the reference. Like a job you quit, giving a reference for them, they don't like that. Now, if you're a let go, the best way to leave a job is to be like let go because they have too many people or whatever, and not fired because you did something bad. Like being let go, that reference is always good, especially if you're good there, because it's like, yeah, well, why did you fire him? It's like, oh, we just had to. We just had to, company wise, whatever. It was like, that's always the best. Okay, what was I talking about? Music, artistry. Yeah, it's hard out here for an artist. It really is. Streaming doesn't make it any better. We're not trying to be millionaires out here, okay? We're just trying to live. We're just trying to live. Come on. Yeah. I think that's it for this podcast. What else do I have to say? I got off on a tangent, but there was no real goal of this. I talked about Hitman, right? And that was pretty much it. I didn't really have anything else. Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for listening if you made it this far. And yeah, I'll see you next week. I hope you like whatever gameplay is going on that I choose to put on here. What should I put? There's a new game. I think I'll keep putting newer games every week if I can get them. Because it just helps with the algorithm to be like, yeah, this game, just to have that game be labeled. So people, when they look it up, they see that this podcast is, if they want to see some gameplay of that game, you can also listen to me talk about this. Yeah. All right, thanks for listening, and goodbye.